My sweet and lovely Cancers, this is your horoscope for 2025. Happy New Year, my lovely Cancers. Welcome to your 2025. I can't believe how fast 2024 is already gone. Now, 2025 will be huge transformational year because a lot of planets, all of them, are changing signs. And 2025 is kind of a transitional year when all the planets will show us previews, sort of, will show you hints of what's to come in the next 10 to 15 years because slow moving planets, karmic planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Saturn, they're all changing signs, but like in 2025 they will dip into next sign because of the retrograde. They will go back where they've been for the last couple of years, but then fully will come into new house, new home only in 2026. So this year 2025 is sort of a trailer, of what's to come. But those planets are extra strong when they are at the last degrees of the previous sign and in the beginning degrees of the next sign. So they are very strong and they bring sort of events, and it will be memorable year. This year we will have a lot of changes, personal level and also world level too, because those planets affect masses of people. And also personal planets like Jupiter, Mercury, Venus, and Mars that are directly affecting us in our daily lives through people, through events, through situations. They will all retrograde, meaning slow down. Like for first 4 months of 2025 will be slow. It's not advisable to start anything. And even like on a world level, there might be something going on that will make us pause all humanity, to make us stop, and think where we need to go next. And for until mid of April, they will all retrograde one by one, overlapping each other's retrograde. Slow motion sort of. But after April, everything goes faster, much faster. You will see the difference. Now, for you, the hugest news is going to be Jupiter, planet of luck and prosperity and abundance. It's the number one planet. It's an amazing planet. This year is moving into your sign. Yes, my dear Cancers, you are the lucky ones of 2025 up until June 2026, because in 9th of June, Jupiter will move into your first house in 2025. This is amazing transit, huge transit. Plus, the Cancer is Jupiter's natural exaltation place. Exalted, meaning planet is acting with full force, even 200 times better. It's giving, like it's prospering, it's giving a lot of abundance and gifts. It feels itself even better than home, let's say. Because Jupiter, is not at home in Cancer, but it's exalted, meaning it's showing itself like for not even 100 but 200%. We will all get our portions of luck, my dear Cancers. Congratulations with that. 2025 will be your star year. Now, you might think back to what was going on 12 years ago, meaning 2013, 2014. Those topics, nothing is the same in our life, but those topics, similar topics might come back into your life. Like, for example, you've been graduating, or you got married, or you got your first baby, and maybe now you are getting your third or second baby, for example. Some like similar topics might be going on, or you got married, and now for some reason you might get divorced as well, and this will be a happy one because Jupiter is there, and it's liberating sort of experience might be. And Jupiter always thinks about you. It has your back, my dear Cancers. That's why whatever will be happening, it's always for positive things. Now, until June, it will be transiting for the first 6 months of 2025. Still your 12th house of subconscious mind, house of being in solitude, being in privacy. Jupiter in 12th house might give you quite a lot of time with yourself, to research yourself, to dig into yourself more, like mental work, more subconscious mind work, subconscious, spiritual awakening. It might be that you will get interested, like a lot of time, like spending reading books about astrology or numerology, researching tarot cards. As an example, esoterics also 12th house. Now, Jupiter naturally rules your house of work. So even your work seems like based on something which you do in alone, in solitude, in privacy. That's the 12th house. Like, it's the house of restrictions as well. It's restricted places. Like, when you're alone, you do something meticulously yourself, by yourself, and in silence, let's say. And seems like your work, like whatever project maybe or work you are doing, it might be online or it might be night shifts. A lot of night shifts work could be there too, because 12th house is all about that. And your daily routine is here changing. Jupiter is giving you amazing chances to change some things in your day-to-day activities, like for example, what time you wake up, what time you do breakfast, and all the stuff. Maybe gym, integrating some sport into your life could be happening. This is all until June 2025, like first 6 months, my dear Cancers. Now, it's also about health, like Jupiter making you pay a lot of attention on what you eat, like your eating habits, also healthy lifestyle. And it's a 12th house. 12th house is surgery's house, and if there is something needed to be done, no need to be like ignoring it, because everything is for better. Jupiter is always a good planet. Whatever it touches, it makes it bigger. It's an amazing one. Now, Jupiter, when it will move into your stellar house, first house, it's all about me. It's all about new self, on June 9th. Now, it will be, since that moment, it will be about you, your plans, your priorities, who you are at core, and about your body. It might give you your dream body, for example. You might transform yourself. You might start eating healthy, as an example, or doing sport, more sport, or might be doing some, I don't know, plastic surgeries as well, because it's all about our appearance, how we look. And a lot of cancers might, go up for this plastic surgeries or some medical surgeries to change some things in their, how they look like in their body, in their face. And first house is all about plans, for future, and your wishes, your priorities. And here Jupiter is making it bigger. It's making you sort of hungry for more, making you go after your wildest dreams, your craziest dreams. Dream big, my dear Cancers. This is the time, so that Jupiter will actually shower you with its gifts, and it's exalted, in Cancer. You have the bestest opportunity in 2025 to make your wish come true. It will, make you visible. It will show you other people, and also show you to other people too. And it's also about like name, and how people call us, how people name also, us, and about surname. It might be you will be changing also some, maybe it's your brand name, if it's not your name, whatever you do, like in business, it could be your brand name that you will be changing, and it will get a lot of attention there. Jupiter puts big attention there on you, and a lot of these things will be more beneficial if you put yourself out there to the world, to the public. After June 2025, my dear Cancers, this will be your star shining time until next June 2026. Now, let's talk about eclipses. Now, eclipses, they are rocket ships, that we sit and we just fly to the point where we should be, where is our destiny is. And it's so fast, eclipses are tools of the universe to bring things, situations faster into our lives. That's why we usually have shock when some things happen on eclipses, because those things like otherwise might have taken, 100 years to evolve, but these eclipses are exactly perfect mechanisms, like tools of the universe to faster make the progress in your life. And remember that it's everything for the best. And eclipses, they usually bring situations that are life-changing, that are big, that is once in a lifetime, like getting married, divorcing, or giving a birth, for example, or adopting, or changing, location of your living, like changing country or relocating somewhere. So this kind of big things, usually happen according to eclipses, and that we always remember. Exactly about this. Now, eclipses happen because of lunar nodes, and you are very affected by these lunar nodes, my dear Cancers. Now, lunar nodes, they are two. They are always two, and they're always situated opposite each other, and they affect simultaneously two signs, because they are in two signs opposite to each other. And for you guys, on January 29th, lunar nodes will move into your ninth and third house. Now, ninth and third house, it's all about movement, movement of ideas, physical movement, movement of communication, all sorts of communication, media house, all these things will become number one according to these eclipses. Now, you might recall back to 18 years ago, if you are that age, let's say 2007 and 2008, what was going on in your life, because they happen to repeat, and lunar nodes, they were occupying exactly same position 18 years ago. So you might be thinking what was going on there, and again, some similar topics might come back into your life. Now, north node will be in your ninth house, and south node will move into your third house. Now, this axis, as I said, it's a movement axis. A lot of, if you think that you will be sitting at home in solitude, don't think that way, because lunar eclipses come and they will make you move. And also ideas, also learning, studies. It's a lot of a communication here happening. Now, lunar nodes, they are also called destiny nodes. They bring situations through eclipses that are destined to happen. They change sign every a year and a half approximately. So they spend 1 year and a half in one sign. And since last July 2023, they were occupying your angular houses, very sensitive houses, 10th and 4th house. Now, north node was in your 10th house, south node was in your 4th house. It might be that back in 2023, let's say you got married or you become a parent, because according to your social status, your social status changed. Let's say from single to being married, or vice versa, from being married to single. Divorced, or it could be like you become a parent, as an example, or grandparent, or becoming employed or unemployed, attaining higher status here, And 10th house is all about career. It might be from 2023, your career skyrocketed, or vice versa, downgraded. It all depends on your natal chart and in your particular situation in your life. For someone, like influence rose like high. For some of you guys, vice versa, it dropped so low. As an example, someone lost, let's say, influence or reputation because of some, issues of, if that's your topic, like reputational risk and all the stuff. And maybe you quit your job or change your career completely since 2023. July. Now, it's also a lot of changes in your home happened. Like you might have changed location where you live, where you call home, and also like this, all things related to relocation and immigration, like even a couple of times, like residence permits or passport citizenships. All these things were in your life quite busy, since 2023, when lunar nodes bringing eclipses into that part of your life in angular house. That is very sensitive house, because they are the main points of the natal chart, and that's why they usually concentrate on main areas of your life, like career and home and family. Some things change in your mother's life as well. There is a possibility too. But now the topic from January onward, 29th of January, we're changing to your ninth house and third house. Now that's more, let's say, easier way to place to accommodate these eclipses, because it's happening in your house of all things related foreign, all things ideas, foreigners, foreign places, countries, cultures, and people. You might travel, you might start traveling a lot, or completely move somewhere, relocate yourself, or you might get busy with your social media, as an example. And also it's about your siblings. There could be a lot of big changes happening in your siblings' life, if you have them, like brothers or sisters. If you don't, it's about maybe your relatives, like close relatives or neighbors. And there might be also, you might meet some like a mentor or teacher, sort of, to learn from. Like ninth house is all about wisdom, where this north node will be. Seems like you will be on the look like for a wisdom meaning of the life. You will be on search, like searching for meaning of your particular life. And events and things will be falling exactly around this kind of topics, giving you a lot of thoughts, let's say, to think. Also about publishing. You might write a book and publish, or you might become I don't know, well-known author, as an example, or writer or researcher, because 9, the third house, is all about education. It's about short-term courses, long-term courses, like degrees, like attaining degree. During the next a year and a half, you might actually get your degree, if that's your situation. And some of you guys might learn a couple of things, like through short-term trainings, or I don't know, Coursera, like when you get sort of qualify for some, I don't know, coding, AI, cooking, whatever is that, some specific and short sort of period time of trainings might be there. And a lot of you guys might buy a transport, like a car, and start driving a car. Or there is also a lot of like a back and forth travels, and far and short. This is amazing time for you in general to relocate somewhere, maybe to go study and to move abroad. Because of that, some of you guys might do the same. Some of you guys just will decide to immigrate for one or another reason, like getting married, and you going to immigrate finally, if you've been stuck somewhere. Now also, this is about legal cases. If you have, and if you're involved in one, this eclipses will affect you the most. Your legal case will move finally, and it might be actually on, and it might give you final solutions during this upcoming a year and a half of period. Uh, Now, this acts is also about second marriage. Those of you guys who've been wishing to find someone new, to get married a second time, this will be your, let's say, eclipses that will be falling exactly here. Also, in general, ninth house is a house of luck, when we are fortunate somewhere, some good fortune, something will be lucky for you in upcoming a year and a half, my dear Cancer. So I would advise you to get your courage, because exactly third house also about bravery, and go and shine, and go for all those things that you never tried but always wanted to try, always wished to do some things, because those things will be number one, and they will be accomplished, they will be successful for you around this time. So this is your period, my dear Cancers, with these eclipses. Now let's talk about eclipses. We will have 4 eclipses in 2025, and all of them amazing ones, except for the one which will be a bit of a bumpy one, but that one will be last. Now, first one, March 14th, we have lunar eclipse in your third house. Sudden positive surprises might come with this eclipse. It will be unexpected. It might be unexpected, some sort of shocking news, which will bring you also quite a lot of responsibilities, because, and Saturn and Uranus will be active during this eclipse, meaning giving you sort of surprising situation that will require from you responsibility, and hard work. So it's happening in your third house. It might be about your relatives or siblings' life. For example, you might all of a sudden need to take care of your sibling, as an example, my dear Cancers, like of your brother or sister for one or another reason. For example, they are sick, or maybe they lost their job and you need to financially support for the time being. Whatever is that will be happening, it will be quite surprising and might impose a lot of, let's say, heavy responsibility on you. And it's about also communication, project languages. You might all of a sudden need to learn a language that you didn't expect. For example, you might not expect this, but there might be a need that you will sort of need, maybe for work, or maybe for your studies, or it might be to communicate with someone at some urgent situation, so that you will need to learn some language very in a short period of time, and sort of under harsh conditions could be happening here. Third house is also about car, and here, my dear Cancers, someone might gift you car, as an example. Or also, I would suggest you to take good care about your car. If you're gonna buy a car around this eclipse, like around March 14th, I would suggest you to check that car, even double check, because then it might come with that you need to fix it, that you need to, a lot of, there could be some works needed with this new purchase, I don't know, transportation, not necessarily car, could be bicycle, I don't know, could be a scooter, whatever is that. Also, some new skill you might be learning, or you might be starting teaching courses, whatever courses is that, like, I don't know, cooking or social media courses, marketing courses, whatever will be around this March 14th, you will need to sort of quickly learn and learn it in a hard way and fast. Now, next one, 29th of March, we have solar stellar eclipse. Amazing one, perfect one in your house of career, in your highest house. This is like, the shining point in our house, and this will be perfect one for you to manifest that dream career, that dream job or position. And even you might actually attain the status of someone who is influential, someone who has power and also good money, and someone who has like a good experience at the back, let's say. And seems like people will be looking at you with respect, because 10th house is exactly there, and this solar eclipse is happening in your 10th house. It's usually people who we respect. If it's not about your life, it might be your father will be attaining this kind of position, sort of influential position, sort of CEO, I don't know, manager position, someone who everyone respects and listens to. 10th house is also about social status, and here some of you guys might get wed, like might get married or might get proposed, or you might decide to take up your relationship a step further, like to move in together as an example, or start living together, or becoming parents. Actually, you might find out you're pregnant or actually give birth around this solar eclipse, my dear Cancers. This is amazing one. Use this eclipse. Now, September 7th, another stellar, powerful eclipse. This one is the best one of 2025, which is happening in your 9th house, lunar eclipse, because Neptune, Pluto, and Uranus will be at 1 degree. Now, these three planets, there is a very small chance of all of them to be at 1 degree in their respective signs and to have amazing collaboration, sort of. They will be jingling with each other. They will be having a party there, which will be perfect one. There is a 1 in a million, let's say, chance for them to create this kind of party, and plus to have the same degree, 1 degree. It's a magical degree, something new starting here. A whole new life is getting like regenerated here, and it's in your 9th house. You will be happy around beginning of September. Seems like you will be moving or somewhere traveling around this time where you will love, like, and you might want to stay for life there. Or you might meet someone special, like I don't know, a foreign mentor or teacher, or someone who, like, from whom you seek wisdom, as an example. Or you might go for religious sort of places, like this kind of power places to recharge, to retreats also might be happening, and you will have such a powerful time there that you will totally change after this lunar eclipse your lifestyle. And also, 9th house is all about like foreign affairs, and if you've been, and if that's your situation, if you're planning to apply for visas or citizenship of another country, some other like residence permits, like whatever related to, like, to travel documents, immigration documents, this eclipse will bring positive news, amazingly, hugely positive news, successful ones, for you to finally get those documents done. Same is about legal affairs. If you are involved in legal case or litigation, if you have such like lawsuits, then this eclipse will be on your side, my dear Cancer. Seems like you will be winning if that is happening around beginning of September, or in beginning of August, beginning of July, because eclipses, they're influential 3 months before, 3 months after, as you might know. Now, also about publishing book. This year is amazing for you actually to publish something, like as a research or a book. That book will be bestseller, my dear Cancers. This is your year to make yourself a big name, big title, my dears, and it's amazing one. I'm so happy for you and thrilled. Always keep me posted what's going on here with your life. Let me be happy for you guys. And the last one, September 21st, we have solar eclipse in your 3rd house. That solar eclipse, will have opposition from Saturn and Neptune. Now, something will remind you about your responsibilities But that trio, Neptune, Pluto, and Uranus, that were at 1 degree having party in the beginning of September, they will still be influential and they will help you out throughout this solar eclipse. No worries on the last one, and it's happening in your third house. It's again about, it might be about your brothers or sisters situation, or your some relatives, like close relative situation, or even neighbor. Or it could be about sort of some courses that you've taken up, but you, let's say, couldn't finish, but then there will be, let's say, deadline and you will need to finish, you will have to finish those courses. So don't try not to postpone anything until that eclipse. And also, like, third house is about driving and transportation. Take good care around the end of September about how you drive responsibly, and also take your car to maintenance. Possibly it could be, there could be some sort of issues there too. It's also about short distance, like travels. And here, if you will be traveling somewhere, some things might come up as work or some assignment that you will have to postpone that travel. As like, these are all examples. You will have to just translate it into your life, my dear Cancers. Now let's talk about the slow moving planets. As I said, they all gonna change signs, and consequently whole world's vibration change. And of course it affects us, all of us, and on the world level, on the masses of people level, and personal level. Now Neptune, March 30th, Neptune will move into your 10th house until October 22nd. Now, Neptune is planet of magic, planet of imagination, and from March until October, it will sort of give you preview of what's to come next 14 years, beginning from 2026. Why? Because Neptune takes 14 years to change sign. Like, roughly speaking, it stays in one sign 14 years. And here, because it's retrograding, will be retrograding in 2025, it will go back into your ninth house, where it was since 2011, 2012, where it's finishing its journey, and it will be back in January 2026 into your 10th house, already for a good 14 years. Now, from March until October, try to, reflect and try to notice what's changing around your 10th house. Now, 10th house is all about career, because it will be situated in your 10th house. It will be making a square to your sun, my dear Cancer. So situations will be coming up sharply, and they might need your action immediately. This kind of situation, because it's a square aspect they're happening. And for the next 14 years, there will be a lot of changes in terms of your career, in terms of how people see you, in terms of which career path you're going to choose. You might even change them, or you might pursue 2 or 3 career paths within those, 14 years. Or you might change quite often, let's say, from first and second and third even. Or you might actually embark right now on some journey which will take you 14 years to be well known in that field, in that professional field. And believe me, your name will be on everyone's lips, because Neptune is activating this your 10th house, and seems like, because of its Neptune is a planet of magic, planet of imagination, and also planet of all the things that we cannot explain. And it seems like you are becoming professional in this kind of area, like, for example, astrology, or some esoterics area, like maybe you becoming a tarologer, or how it's called correctly, I don't even know. Or it could be that you're becoming numerologer, as an example. Someone, or psychic, I don't know, medium, someone who can contact some other, let's say, worlds, other beings from other worlds, and who can communicate. And you might become very, let's say, professional in this area. Or simply speaking, you might get interested into psychology also, and into meditation. Neptune is about meditation too. You might, I don't know, become yogi, like start doing yoga more on a daily level, let's say, or like Pilates. All these things might become your profession, my dear Cancers. And because Neptune rules your ninth house, you will have impact to the whole world. You might start speaking different languages also, and at the end of the day, you will become teacher, mentor in your area, in your professional field, for many people. because also Saturn going there. But let me a little bit elaborate on this Neptune more. Now, Neptune was in your ninth house since 2011, 2012. Since that time, Neptune was transforming your foreign land sort of area. You know, how you communicate with foreign people. You might have seen a lot since, 14 years back, like all these last 14 years, you might have traveled a lot, visited a lot of places, seen a lot of different types of life, different cultures, and also walks of life, people from different backgrounds. And Neptune was giving you this opportunity, and it was giving you sort of this dream life because Neptune is all about magic, and it was magical for you. This journey sort of was magical, and Neptune naturally rules your ninth house. It was sort of for you mind opening, sort of soul opening experience. For some of you, it might have been also about legal case. If that legal case was as long as this 10 to 14 years, when Neptune moves into your 10th house, that lawsuit might get resolved, my dear Cancers. The ninth house is also about some spiritual teacher, as an example, mentality, beliefs. Your beliefs were changing for the last 14 years. For example, let's say you've been a Muslim, but then now you, I don't know, become Christian, as an example, or atheist also could be, or vice versa. Whatever belief that you hold there, like maybe vegan or vegetarian, something that you believe in, was profoundly changing for the last 14 years through experiences and physical and mental and subconscious experiences and changes. Now, ninth house is also about publishing. As I said, it's about books and articles and research. Some of you guys might have researched quite a lot all these topics that we cannot explain through Neptune, and also it's about drug addictions. Neptune is also about addictions. It might be that you've become professional in helping people to get rid of their addictions, like smoking or drugs or whatever is that, like a mental state professional, like psychologist or astrologer. Also, you might have become quite, let's say, written a lot of works around those topics, a lot of books also published. But now when Neptune goes into your 10th house, as I said, it will give you this hint, preview of what's to come from March until October of 2025, that what will be happening next 14 years, beginning from January 2026. So, take notes what will be changing in terms of your career, in terms of what's your goal, what kind of title, what kind of nomination or prizes you would want to achieve in general. Those changes might be happening deeply within you, because these planets, like karmic and slow moving planets, they are affecting us on subconscious level, not more like on a subconscious, but not in a daily basis. It's more like changes that we can track within ourselves, within how we feel ourselves, what we think. And about your social status, there will be also a lot of changes, whether you are married or whether you are divorced. I don't know, are you a parent or not, are you employed or not, all these things. But more first, changes will be happening within you, my dear Cancers. Now, Saturn will move into your 10th house too, following Neptune on May 25th. But Saturn will stay until September 1st. And again, it will give you sort of trailer, to the movie, to the movie of the next 3 years, because Saturn needs 2 to 3 years in one sign, and it spends in one sign 3 years, and it's moving into your 10th house, and it will give you sort of what's to come between May and September, but it will be back into your 10th house on 14th of February 2026, and it will stay there until 2028. Saturn was transiting your 9th house since 2023. Now, since 2023, Saturn being a strict, teacher of the universe, it's sort of like an old man who teaches and preaches, in astrology, and it was in your 9th house. You might have encountered also this kind of teachers, or you might have become yourself as a mentor towards yourself, not necessarily towards others, towards your students. That is also a possibility, but mostly towards yourself, like sort of teaching a lot yourself here. Saturn taught you how to be a good mentor, how to teach better, how to be a strict one who has deadlines, who can impose also a lot of restrictions and responsibilities. Because Saturn is this kind of planet about responsibilities and hard work, and it was in your ninth house. Same when it comes to publishing or writing a book. You've been probably since 2023 writing and rewriting, reworking the same book or the same project again and again, because Saturn demanded this kind of things. It demands hard work, more meticulous work, more work on details, sort of. And only when it leaves, like around May 25th, you might feel relief. Actually, you might feel that you made this your work as a masterpiece finally. Now, ninth house is also about travel and immigration and all things foreign. And here Saturn, might have restricted for the last 3 years your sort of movement. Even if it's not the case, like you've been traveling a lot and all the stuff, it might have sort of restricted how you view that travel. If before, like you've been traveling, getting this energy and sort of excitement that you met a lot of people and culture and difference, like you experience different culture. But when Saturn was there and during like travels, even if you traveled a lot, it might give you sort of this inner tension that it's all the same. If I make sense, my dear Cancers, I hope you get me. It might give you sort of restricted or limited taste from travel. And you might have not been so excited, let's say, lately, even to travel somewhere. In some cases, it's really made it small travel occasions, as an example. And also, it's about immigration and all sorts of papers, document related, like citizenship, residence permits. And here you might have also encountered sort of some hindrances, some documents, or maybe reissuing some things, or more slower process, more, I don't know, longer process than others, let's say, might have been the case. And ninth house is also about legal affairs. If you are involved in one, or if you have a lawsuit, let's say, and again, here Saturn was giving you quite a lot of workarounds, quite a lot of also competition, very harsh competition in competitors. Saturn is being natural ruler of your seventh house of other people, whomever you've been, having lawsuit with against. Those people might have been this kind of Saturn type of, very harsh, very demanding, very restrictive and challenging ones, hard to deal with. And in general, this lawsuit might have become also sort of this kind of thing, if you are involved in one, or if you're just following, Now, ninth house is also about education. Some of you guys, if you are like still studying, last like 3 months, 3 years could have been a very hardworking style of, learning things. Hard, let's say, sitting long hours and studying something over and over again. This kind of style might have been there. Or simply Saturn was restricting sort of attaining you a degree for one or another reason. Maybe because of a strict professor, or maybe because of some rules at university, to some other, like whatever the reason is, it might have been delayed sort of your this attaining the diploma or degree here. But now when Saturn moves into your 10th house for the next 3 years, it might give you, it's a 10th house, and a house of career, house of your calling of life. And here you might, first 3 years, you might, let's say, because Neptune is there, making colorful everything, right, for the next 14 years. But first 3 years, because Saturn is also there, could be sort of restrictive. Whatever we start, it's always hardest at the beginning, right? So this might be the case here too. You might sort of want, let's say, to achieve something totally new area of professional area. Let's say you've been whole life a policeman, and now you want to be, surgeon. It's from zero, right? From zero ground. So it might be that you have this wish, but then it's very hard to start. And these first 3 years will need you hard working, my dear Cancers. Put an effort there, so that to go to go on, to move on to your dream, like further and further. And Saturn in 10th house also might restrict actually access in general to the right people, right situations, to the right path, to get faster to the goal, because Saturn is never about faster. It's about the longest and hardest way. Exactly, these things might be happening. And also, Saturn is planet of responsibility here, my dear Cancers. Some of you guys, it might not be about career, it might be about social status. And here it might give you in the next 3 years a huge responsibility as being a parent or getting married, or vice versa, divorcing. And I don't know, having a shared custody as an example for your kids. Sort of this social status will be heavy there, topic for you. It might give you changes around that, or employment or unemployed status too. Whatever is your situation, this will be sort of giving you quite a weight, on your shoulders. But still, it all depends on your situation and on your natal chart, how you're gonna handle it, my dear Cancers. Now, Uranus, another slow-moving planet, karmic planet, will be changing sign, and it's going into your 12th house. Uranus needs 7 years to change sign, so it stays 7 years in one sign, and on 7th of July, it will move into your 12th house until November. So from July until November, it will give you this trailer, this hints and preview of what's to come, beginning in April 2026, because it will be back into your 12th house for the next 7 years, my dear Cancers. Now, Uranus is planet of shocking situation. It's a planet of electricity and also all things technological advancement, and also planet of astrology. And it was transiting your 11th house for the last 7 years, since 2018, 2019. It began its transit of your 11th house back then. And since then, your wishes, what you dream of was changing quite shockingly, even to yourself. As Cancers, you are more likely, a persistent and more consistent people. But here, when Uranus was transiting your 11th house, it was giving you all sorts of wildest dreams. And, at a whim, like sort of at one moment you were dreaming to become an actress, and another moment you were dreaming becoming a CEO in some, I don't know, company, or senior manager. It could have been this kind of roller coaster with this Uranus in your 11th house. It was giving you a lot of changes, from one wish to another, from one dream to another, because it's a house of future, house of dream and wish. And in general, your picture of your future always were not consistent, was always changing there. And even to your own shock, by the way. Now, also 11th house is about friendships, and Uranus here changed your friendships greatly. Like it's transformed it drastically. You might have been one part of a friendship group, but then after, I don't know, a year, the next part, another year, other part, your social group was never consistent, never the same. It was all the time changing. And from all sorts of, like, all walks of life, people were friends with you at the same time. You've been sort of this glue between people from different backgrounds that would never actually communicate, but because you are there, they were glued somehow into one group circle, or at the same time having different group, friendship groups. Let's say friends, and sort of different friend groups were forming now and then, and it was also going, let's say, fading away also, and you are forming another one. And for whatever reason is that, maybe you've been studying in different countries, as an example, or maybe you were moving because of your work from one country to another. Whatever is the reason is behind, Uranus was actually giving you quite shocking situations around your friendship groups here. And it was bringing you people who are, let's say, interesting, who are very different from everyone else in the room, who are very particular, as your friends. And you had this chance in your life to become friends with people who are unique. Uranus is people who are unique, my dear Cancers. Now this Uranus is moving into your 12th house. Now, 12th house is all about our subconscious mind, all about privacy, all about solitude, whatever we do in solitude. And for you guys, it might be that this Uranus might give you time to time this kind of conditions and situations where you might need to work in solitude or do something alone for the next 7 years. Work on some projects also alone in privacy behind the doors. Whatever I'm talking about, this will come as a preview from July until November. So take note what will be happening around that time with this Uranus in your 12th house. 12th house is also house of islands, some restricted places like islands, prisons, hospitals, could be military service. And if that's military service, seems like you might think that you will just serve, let's say, a year and then come back home and you will not pursue a career. But Uranus seems like will have a different plan for you here. And it seems like you might actually end up building a career in that military area because it's restricted, and Uranus is moving into your 12th house for 7 years. And 12th house is also all about this subconscious mind, meditation, religion, esoterics, mental state. You might become also quite interested in those things. You might all of a sudden pack your things and go on pilgrimage, as an example, or to have this desire to visit power places, like religious places, or some places like powerful places, or some retreats, some resting, like sort of this kind of lifestyle you might pursue. All of a sudden, even to the shock of yourself, actually, for yourself, you might be shocking yourself with these kind of actions as well. 12th house is all about health and surgeries. For some of you guys, there will be some situation that you might need, but because eclipses will be highly positive this year, it might not be this year will be happening, but more of a, if there will be something that will be bugging you related to your health, so go for a checkup. Don't make it as a shocking surprise to you, neither to your family. So better to do all the checkups on time and consultations with specialists and doctors, because Uranus is, you never know what it might bring. And it's exactly also in your surgeries house. Now, a 12th house about past, it's about how we spend time alone also. It might give you a couple of surprises around that, especially what you enjoy, how you rest, how you spend this time, resting time, and also some things about your past, maybe about family. Some secrets might be revealed in the next, coming 7 years, and even between July until November, which will be quite shocking. Now, it will be more, I will speak about this more in upcoming videos separately. But now let's move to Pluto. Now, Pluto also recently changed signs last year. And, in 2025, Pluto only moved until 3rd degree of Aquarius. And meaning those of you who has some placements like planets or some points in natal chart from 0 to 3 degrees of Aquarius, you will be influenced the most by this Pluto transit there in your Aquarius house, which is 8th house, and Pluto is planet of transformation, and it's coming into your house of money. And a lot of Cancers might actually get contacted or start working with influential people who has money and who are willing to invest into your business. Or you might actually invest and double that investment, my dear Cancers. You will have stellar opportunity because Pluto is planet of huge money, and it's in your investment house, my dear Cancers. You will have amazing luck there, but again, invest responsibly. Pluto also doesn't like jokes. Now, it's also about investments into your business, inheritance. You might inherit actually in 2025, family house or transportation, whatever is that, properties. It could be also banks and taxes and loans. You might decide in 2025 to take up a bank loan or apply for one, and you will be successful because Pluto will be helping you there. But again, take good care there because it will take time for you to return that money to the bank or any other financial institution. Now, 8th house is also about health and critical situations. And here, again, take good care of what you eat and how you feel yourself and all the things related to well-being, because Pluto is again no joke planet. You see, Uranus is in your health house, 12th house, and Pluto is in your 8th house, again health house. Now these are like karmic planets, and here no need to ignore any signals from your body, my dear Cancers. Go check it up, and especially if you have any placements from 0 to 3 degrees in 2025, because that will be influential. Those of you guys will have Pluto's direct scrutiny there. Now, let's talk about personal planets. As I said, they will retrograde in 2025, and Venus will retrograde. Venus retrogrades once per year and a half for 40 days, and it will retrograde from 2nd March until 13th of April. Now, write down this date. When Venus retrogrades, it's not advisable to get married, of course, because Venus is planet of love, my dear Cancers. Everything can go wrong, and your marriage, and in general, the wedding. So don't make any wedding, and I don't advise you to do so from 2nd of March until 13th of April, or any beauty procedures like plastic surgeries or cosmetic surgeries, whatever is that. Also, it's about money, Venus. Any contracts that are involved, like big money too, better to postpone. Now, Venus in the 1st house, I'd like to mention for you guys, because we all love when Venus in the 1st house. We are shining stars. We attract people's attention, and people are naturally attracted to us. We look irresistible, and we feel irresistible. We are confident, and we feel like we can, and we have this power to convince anyone into anything. And those dates for you, my dear Cancers, will be from July 31st until August 25th. So almost whole August, you will be shining star, my dear Cancers. Write it down to make your best moves around this period. And Venus in the 7th house. Now, 7th house is all about committed relationships in love. Especially if you're married, then this will be sugar sweet period for you with your one and only. And that will be from December 24th until January 17th, 2026. Festive period next year, my dear Cancers, is set to be sweet for you. Spending with your sweetheart all this Christmas and New Year's Eve will be perfect, stellar next year. And also, if you're single, that period will be amazing for you to level up your relationship, committed relationship, or actually meet someone special, my dear Cancers. And Mars. Now, Mars, will have unusual behavior, and it will be extra important for you because Mars, let me tell you, stuck in your sign and also in your 2nd house. Now, Mars is stuck since September, back September 2024. And let me tell you, it will be focused on your sign until June 2025, almost whole year. This is very unusual and specific for Mars to spend in one sign so long time. But of course, you will share Mars's courtesy with Leo, my dear Cancers. But it seems like universe is trying to tell you through Mars's movement to focus on yourself, to work on yourself, on your body, how you look, your plans, your priorities, your ideas. Since September 2024 up until June 2025, Mars will be in your sign and will be periodically moving into your 2nd house of earning income because of its retrograde. Now, from January 6th until April 18th, it will be in your 1st house. Now, 1st house is all about me, and it seems like here universe wants actually you to work on yourself, on your goals, as I said, on your appearance. It might be going to gym more often, or doing some physical activities like Pilates or yoga, or changing something about your appearance like plastic surgeries. But I don't advise you to do that until April, end of April, because all these planets will be retrograding, meaning slowing down, and we need them sharp to make perfect results. So don't do any plastic surgeries between January and April, my dear Cancers. It might be also about your name or surname or your brand. For example, if you are company owner or brand owner, it might be that you will need to work on that. Some things needs to be changed there, my dear Cancers. Now, Mars is being planet of desire and actions. Seems like all your power will be going exactly into yourself, which is amazing because the universe is giving you perfect chance to concentrate on yourself, because first 4 months of 2025, as I said, will be sleeping time for the whole world and for all people. And it's a perfect time for you to reflect, actually, to reorganize, reprioritize, let's say, change some things there about your plans and how you look, let's say. Now, from April until June, it will be focused on your second house of earning income, how you earn money, what kind of resources you use. And it seems like you will be on pursuit, actually. You will be quite active from April until June in finding resources of income and maybe generating income source. All these things will be priority number one for you from April until June. And it might be even you will be busy. Now, Mars in second house sometimes gives also quite a lot of spendings. And here, this sort of desire to buy everything. So here, exercise extra care from April until June. Now, I would like to also mention a couple of days which will be important in 2025. First one, February 23rd, Neptune, planet of magic, will meet North Node in your ninth house. This is magical one. These things happened very rare. Last time they met actually in your ninth house was in 16th century. Back in 16th century, can you imagine? That time it was Inquisition, going after witches and burning them down, let's say. But now, because ninth house is all about this spirituality house, and that's why it was about witches and magic and all the stuff. But this time, when Neptune meets North Node again after so long time, because all of us, we are aware, let's say, of these things are real, and of these things, like astrology, all these things are like a science, and it might have a different sort of a narrative. Neptune is a planet of magic. North Node is a destiny node, is the node where our lives are going, and it's in your ninth house. It seems like Neptune will gift you finally the understanding of what's your purpose in your life. It might give you the meaning that you've been searching for a whole long time of your life. It might shine through the meaning, actually, and you might finally find that sort of purpose in life. Why you came at the first time in this lifetime. For example, 14th of April, we have Saturn meeting North Node in the same ninth house. This is also a very rare thing. And they met last time in 1877, so back in 19th century. 150 years ago almost. Now, Saturn meeting North Node in your ninth house, here again, it seems like you might need a mentor or a teacher, someone who will be strict, or you might actually become yourself as a mentor, as a teacher, and someone who everyone respects to, someone who everyone listens to, and also someone who everyone knows that has some rules to follow in order to get and gain some results. You might embody this sort of mentor or teacher, or you might meet yourself, someone like that, because Saturn is meeting your North Node. And in general, Saturn might teach you here a couple of lessons also. It could be positive and could be negative, depending on your situation, my dear Cancers. And the last date is September 4th. Now, September by far, it's the most amazing month of 2025. So whatever you plan it for September, my dear Cancers. It's a stellar month, because 4th of September, we have Jupiter communicating with North Node, which is perfect. And also, as I said, that trio, which happens very rare, Neptune, Pluto, Uranus, making communication with each other, powerful one, super positive one, at 1 degree of respective, they are situated signs. They will create magic there. These planets will create magic. Plus, Jupiter will touch that destiny node in your ninth house. Jupiter will be in your first house, fueling, shining through. Jupiter is exalted in your sign, in your Cancer, my dear Cancers, and it's your first house. Seems like you are finally becoming your true self. You are finally finding that path, what you come to actually accomplish and go through in this lifetime, my dear Cancer. This will be perfect moment. Note this September month of 2025. This will be huge for you. Seems like you might get popular. You might get very well known. Also, you might become as a ideal for someone to follow, as a mentor for someone to follow to a lot of people. You might even create your own concept of belief. These kind of things, sort of magical thing will be happening there. It's the perfect one. And Jupiter rules your sixth house. Seems like you might become a teacher yourself, or a professor, or a mentor, I don't know, or teach a lot of people, and using different language, like not your own language but foreign language. You might become this kind of person, like teaching daily. Now, this was your horoscope for 2025. I wish you the happiest new year, and believe me, it will be that way. Believe in the future, believe in astrology, and of course, in planets and into universe. They will help you out. And as I said, 2025 is set to be magical, my dear Cancers. Happy New Year. And I would like to remind you, don't forget to check your rising sign and moon sign. Rising sign is always, the strongest affecting us. But for some people, it's sun sign. For some of you guys, it's moon sign. So you will get to compare which one is affecting you the most, my dear Cancers. Love you all. Bye-bye.